Valerie.
And I'm Laurelyn.
Welcome to Mornings in Matthew.
We're so glad that you've joined us and hope you'll just stick with us through this final home stretch. One more week. Keep it going.
It's been so good to be on the same page in our Bibles as a church family, hasn't it?
It has, just to be able to talk about it. I think that's what Matthew was doing. He was trying to get everybody on the same page as to exactly who Jesus was.
Yeah.
In fact, let me show you. I've got a poster somewhere.
Hold on. Marvin? What's Marvin doing here? I'll go get him and you go get your poster. We'll have him come in with us.
Come on in.
Hey Marvin, we're glad you could come on in and join us.
Oh, I'm glad you let me in this room. I've never been in here before.
It's nice and fancy, isn't it?
Yeah, I might want to sleep in here.
No, you can't sleep in here. But
No
you
bed.
can. Yeah, there's not a bed.
Oh.
But it does look like a living room, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, we're glad you're here. We're going to talk about the book of Matthew, and we're on chapter 21 today.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I can count to 21.
Sure you can, but I was just fixing to show Miss Valerie how I teach the kiddos about Matthew. I've got a poster right here. There's a whole series of them, and they're so fun. Can you
Does it
see
have
what's...
Cookie Monster on it? He's my favorite.
No Cookie Monster.
Oh.
No, but can you see what's on there?
Yeah.
You see the king?
No Cookie Monster.
No
I see a
Cookie
king.
Monster.
Yeah.
There's a king, and we know he's a king because he has a crown. But the really fun thing about this is at the king's feet is a mat. A big mat for him to put his feet on, and the mat has a big U on it. You get it?
Get it? Matthew?
Matthew.
Yeah, I get it now. That's funny.
Because Matthew wrote this book, and he wrote it about the King of Kings. He wrote it saying, here, I'm ushering you, I'm bringing you to the throne of the King of Kings because I want you to meet him. It's an invitation to us. Not cool?
That sounds like a good story.
It's a good way to remember what
Yeah.
Matthew's all about.
And you know what? Jesus is the king. He's the King of Kings. But he also showed us what it looks like to be a king, to be someone who is a leader in God's kingdom.
I think it'd be hard to be a king.
It would be hard to be a king, but you know, being a king in God's way is not usually what it means the way we think about being a king.
It's not?
No, we think about being a king as being so important and everybody serves you and comes and, you know, maybe brings you your slippers and bows down and all of that.
That'd be
Feeds you
fun.
great.
That would,
Yeah.
that would be fun.
Maybe I do want to be a king.
Well, you know what Jesus said about being a king?
What?
He said, if you want to be great in God's kingdom, you know what you should do? Be the servant of all. Be the best servant.
So like helping everybody out?
Yes, be the one who works hardest to do the work sometimes nobody else wants to do.
No. I
No?
don't like doing tough jobs.
Well, that's what God says it means to be and you know, that's what Jesus did. He did some of the things nobody else wanted to do.
Yeah, he washed people's feet.
He did. You remember that. Yep.
And he fed those hungry crowds.
Yeah.
And
with the fish and bread.
Yes.
He sure did.
And he healed people that couldn't walk.
Wow.
He made people who were blind be able to see.
I don't see too well.
Well, I'm glad you've got your glasses. I know that helps.
It does.
Can't see without them.
But Jesus did all of those things. But even when he did all of those things, do you know that the religious leaders of the day, the Sadducees and the Pharisees and the chief priests and the elders and the scribes, all of them, they weren't sure they really believed him. And they would come to him with questions all the time. And Matthew wrote about that. He wrote about the times when his authority was questioned.
Seems like they should have known him best.
Well, they should have. That's a good point. But they didn't. And actually, they tried to trick him. They tried to undermine his authority. Do you know what that means, to undermine your authority?
I don't think so.
Well, it means to try to trick you so that people think, he must not be so smart. He must not be who he said he was. But
Doesn't sound like a good crowd.
Matthew wanted everybody to know Jesus is who he says he is. He is the authority. He is the King of Kings.
And you know what? Even one time when he was in the temple, it says that the children started praising him and
Oh.
saying who he was, that he's really God.
Bet that
Jesus,
made him happy.
well, it made Jesus happy, but you know those religious leaders that Miss Laurelyn was talking about?
Yeah, the bad guys.
They were not so happy. They got angry. And they even said, "Do you hear what those children are saying?" And do you know what Jesus said?
The kids are smarter than the.
Kind of. Kind of. He says, well, in the Bible it says, and he was talking about in the Old Testament, the Bible that they had at the time, that the children and the babies even would be taught to sing God's praises and to show who he is, even more than the adults sometimes.
That's hard to believe.
It's hard to believe. It's kind of special, though, isn't it? It
So
is.
anybody can praise him.
Anybody can praise him.
Everybody should praise him.
Everybody should praise him.
Because he is the King of
He
Kings.
definitely is
He
the King
has
of Kings.
all the authority.
He does.
Well, I sure learned a lot while I was here.
Well, we're glad you came and joined us today, Marvin.
Yeah. Thanks for seeing me out in the hallway. I was kind of lost.
Well, I wondered where you were going.
Where were you going?
I don't know. I was looking for the bathroom.
Oh,
Couldn't. I still haven't found it. I gotta go.
Okay.
we'll let you go
We'll
then.
see you later
Okay,
then.
Bye,
Bye, Marvin.
Bye, guys.